Hey everybody, Jabman025 here. Today I'm taking a look at my 122nd Master Grade, the Psycho Zaku Verka from the series Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt / the movie December Sky. Let's have a look, see what we got. Now, first thing you notice when you open the manual is English. That's right, I said English. And a lot of the instructions and a lot of the details and even some of the parts that talk about the kit itself and its construction and its design is in both Japanese and English. I was stunned as I'm turning the pages. They're giving you specific instructions in English. Maybe, just maybe, Bandai is starting to appreciate us. Maybe. Open up the box, tons of plates. And these plates can get very confusing because there's certain plates from the 2.0 kit and new plates. This kit is 90%, at least in terms of the body, 2.0 Zaku, specifically high mobility 2.0 Zaku. So this is kind of a hindrance to this kit. I'll talk about more as we go. I do like the pilot figure they give you and how he's kind of encased in a coffin. In the movie they show that to pilot this thing you literally have to have your arms and legs chopped off and replaced with connectors. I'm not even kidding. They give you these sleeves for the links on the head and on the hip from the 2.0 Zaku, and I'm just going to say it flat out, these sleeves suck. They do not work. I had one side go on just fine, crinkled up, look great, no problem, and the other side I had a seam rip almost all the way down, and that sucked. I mean, there's nothing I did wrong. I did the both sides the exact same way, but the entire right seam ripped open, and I kind of had to glue it around it to make it look right. And even so, it doesn't really look great. But yeah, this is a square peg round hole type thing. Trying to fasten those sleeves onto a 2.0 kit that was made so many years ago doesn't work. Another thing you'll notice here is thrusters. There are thrusters all over this kit. There are so many thrusters, the camper blushes when it looks at this thing, okay? See more thrusters on both the shoulder armors, on the tops, on the sides, all over the place. Thrusters, tons of them. And you got that sleeve again on the head, and guess what? It still sucks there. It just doesn't work. The 2.0 head is there, so the mono eye moves with the head, which I always liked. But like I said, this is 90% high mobility 2.0 Zaku, which kind of is a hindrance because you're trying to put things on from a new design kit onto this old kit, and you don't evolve the old kit very much, and whatever. You do have the sleeves on the arm joints. This works okay, just because the arm joints are nice and big, and the seams don't have any trouble ripping. Okay, that's fine. The hands are replaced 2.0 hands with interchangeable finger hands, and they're a good deal bigger. The bottom half of the kit, outside of some new thrusters, is pretty much all 2.0 high mobility Zaku. They do have sleeves again down here for the legs, and they still suck. I had another one ripped down here. You see, that side looks pretty good. The other side, not so much. I had to glue it back together. It was a royal pain in the butt. You can see there's armor on top of the legs. Underneath there's the standard high mobility Zaku, and then there's armor on top of that, extra armor. So call it a full armor Zaku, I don't know. But thrusters everywhere, on the skirts, on the front, on the back, legs, arms, chest, armor pads on the shoulders. This thing will turn anywhere and everywhere, which I suppose why you have to chop off your arms and legs to pilot it. You see him next to the high mobility 2.0 Zaku, like I said, very, very similar kits. The Psycho Zaku is a little bit bigger and a little more over the top in terms of thrusters. Okay, a lot more over the top, but anyway. Decals. You get an extra set here if you are one of the first people who bought it. If you're watching this and you haven't bought it, chances of you getting this is slim. Not impossible, but slim. If you're far flung in the future, you have no chance. Now, these are the exact same decals you get either way. Just one set is a silver metallic, the other is the standard white. So even if you don't get this silver metallic bonus set, you still get all the decals you need, which are a lot. Now, I decided to decal up the Zaku first before I moved on to the next stage. I really like these decals. They are a bit of a pain to work with because of all the lining, and there's lots of pinstriping, and I had to add lots and lots of sealant to this thing. That being said, it was very cold, and I did have the heat going on a lot when I was putting the decals on, so that doesn't help. But sealant, 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 and more sealant to keep everything down. I do like the big 96 in silver and the gold Xeon logo. There's lots of other little neat decals. Really, really like the decals. This kit looked kind of plain in the reds and the orange. It didn't really pop all that much. Decals add a ton to this kit. Now here you see the backpack on this beast, and it is a big old backpack with, guess what, more thrusters. Everywhere and everywhere on this thing. It has these grapple hands which will curl up like a snake, and they will uncurl and grab things off the backpack. These aren't really made to hold and fire anything as much to grab it off the backpack and give it to the Zaku to fire. That still looks neat. And they give you this beast of an action stand to hold everything up. Interesting thing here, on the backpack it has these connectors. You plug it into the back of the Zaku and then twist it to lock it shut. This gives a rock solid connection. It will never fall out because it's literally locked in place, as you see here. And that monster action stand back there, so big, so thick, so huge, holds them up just fine. And there's a lot to hold up. Accessories, let's run through them, shall we? We have 2 machine guns, standard 2.0 Zaku, 3 grenades and an axe, 6 ammo clips, 3 hyper mega bazookas, which is from the high mobility Zaku, just 3 of them this time, with a slightly redesigned handle, as so. And this big mamma jamma, a beam bazooka, a gigantic one at that. It is almost as tall as Zaku itself. I mean, yeah, it's big. The scope is red because I used a red Sharpie. It comes clear, as does all the scopes on these things. But yeah, that's a big gun. And here we go. They also give you the parts needed for 2 more standard 2.0 bazookas minus the lens, and 1 more beam and 1 more axe. Granted, you don't have to build these, but they give you the parts, so why not? Decal them all up. There's a lot of decals on the weapons, not a ton, but a lot. And since there's so many weapons, there's a lot to do. So now we start building the propellant tanks, thrusters, the big giant things on top of the big giant backpack. First one is this big long thruster, and this has lots and lots of connections for weapons. I went and decaled them up. I like the decals I used on this. It looks good. The connection into the backpack is rock solid, and the stand actually holds up part of the bottom one as well. And the bottom one acts as the base, is what we're going to stack everything else on. You attach the machine guns and the grenades and 2 ammo clips to the bottom one. And these connections stink. The grenades aren't bad, but the guns are falling off all the time. There are pieces falling off this thing. If you look at them wrong, the ammo clips do not want to stay on either. But the grenades seem fine. They don't have any trouble there. But yeah, there's a pain. And when you're trying to maneuver him like what I am for this review, every time you seem to twist it, those guns fall off. Then we got this. Okay, yeah. This is a gigantic propellant tank that connects into 2 blocks which connect into the bottom. This is kind of being held up, stacked on top of that bottom propellant tank. And it holds it up fine. It does get a little wobbly as you're moving things around. Here, the propellant tank for the perfect grade full armor unicorn. And you see, it's not quite as big. I thought it would be just as big. They're just reusing this. It is wide and it's almost as long, but it's not quite as big, so it's still ridiculously huge. But it's not quite that big. 1 more propellant tank. This one connects into the backpack. Isn't really stacked onto anything. They do have 2 supports, but they aren't really holding anything up. And this holds the 3 rocket launchers, or bazookas, whatever. And it links them all together too, and guess what? That's got more thrusters on it too. 2 more ammo packs up at the front. Those are a real pain in the butt to get on. But because they wear the place, they'll almost never come off. So you can see this thing is gigantic. Monstrosity backpack. And it's just huge. The bazooka, can it be held? Yes. Can it be held upright? Heck no. It's way too heavy. The shoulder isn't anywhere near strong enough. It uses the grapple trigger finger to hold onto it, which it does do, but it can't do anything close to posing with this thing. If you want to put it on the ground, they do have attachments to hold it up. For size comparison, here he is next to the Sazabi and the Victory. The overall height, it's not huge, but the backpack is just... If there's a line, they crossed it a couple of blocks ago. I mean, really crazy. Final thoughts on this kit. I've been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But at the end of the day, I just can't give this a thumbs up. This thing can't be posed. Its accessories are mainly recycled. The one new accessory they give you, you can't use. It's too heavy. Decals are good, but they tend to peel off a lot. But that could have been just my problems with my heating going full bore because of how cold it is. The backpack is gigantic, and you almost don't want to touch it anyway because there's so much stuff that could fall off and go wrong with it. It holds it up fine, but it's just terrifying to even move. It's so heavy. Quite frankly, I can't give it a thumbs up because this is kind of, like I said, a square peg round hole. They took a 2.0 Zaku, shoved a giant backpack on it, and called it a new kit. It's a fun kit. It looks neat, and it's nice to have on a shelf, but quite frankly, I'm not impressed. I can't give it a thumbs up. Well, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you found it informative. If you have any questions, please ask them. I will answer them as best as I can. Please stay tuned for more. I always got more reviews coming. I do have the issue of Master Grade Kit of the Year 2016 award to give out. I will be doing a video for that very shortly. I will also be doing a live stream soon as a kind of a wrap-up to 2016 in general. I will have more details about that in the Master Grade Award video. So keep an eye out for that. I'd be happy if you guys come and see it. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next time. Oh, and one more thing. I don't want to hear crap about my backpack being too big ever again!